Hello, this is Vinay, and today we are going to learn why C programming language is called middle level language. But before we can learn why C programming language is called middle level language, we need to know first what is low level language and the high level language. So once we are able to know why low level language is called low level language and why the high level language is called high level language, then we can draw a conclusion why C programming language is called middle level language. So let's discuss what is low level language. So low level languages are the language which are hardware dependent. For example, assembly language. Now using the assembly language, you can create a program. Now what happened, because it is a platform dependent, so let's say that you have written a program in this machine only. Now what happened, as you try to run or execute the same program on a different machine, because these machines are different as per their circuitry and the hardware configuration, so that program that you have written in the assembly language using the mnemonics, now this is how the mnemonics looks like. Mnemonics are the syntax used in a assembly language. So when you try to write a program on a machine, machine number 1, and wants to get that program executed on a different machine, because these machines are having different circuitry and different hardware configuration, so that program wouldn't be able to get executed. So that is why low level languages are platform dependent, because their mnemonics keeps on changing as per the circuitry and the hardware configuration when you are using assembly language. So using a low level languages, you can create system software, for example, operating system or drivers. But low level languages are very complex and difficult to learn. Now there is one more important thing. Using a low level language, you can directly interact with the machine. Means that low level languages are much closer to the hardware, so the program execution would become faster. So these are the points that you need to remember when it's come to low level language. So now let's get discuss what is high level language. So high level languages are the language which are platform independent. For example, C++, Java, .NET, these are the language which are platform independent. So when you write a program, that program can be executed on a different machine. Let's understand this with the help of example. Let's say that you have written a program, let's say in C++ or Java, any language available in the high level language. So that program, can be executed on a different machine. It doesn't matter whether they having a different circuitry or different hardware configuration. So you just need to take care of your code. Now that code can be executed on a different machine. Write once and execute anywhere. So that is why I'm saying high level languages are the language which are platform independent. Now using the high level language, you can create application software. For example, web browser, MS Word, MS Office, PowerPoint, etc. And these languages are easy to learn and less complicated. So these are the points that you need to remember when it's come to high level language. So now let's get discuss why C programming language is called middle level language. Now using a C programming language, you can create system software as well as application software. Now what is system software and application software? Now please remember, now this is very important. Now system software are not dependent on application software, whereas application software are dependent on system software. For example of system software is operating system. Now without the operating system, how would you run your browser, your MS Word, MS Office? So what we can say that application software are dependent on system software. System software do not need to have a application software. And one more important thing, system software can be triggered when you turn on your computer automatically, whereas application software needs to be started by the user. As we have already discussed that system software are much closer to the hardware, so the program execution would become faster if we compare it with the application software. C programming language is also platform independent. For example, the same program could be run on a different machine. It doesn't matter whether a machine having a different circuitry or a hardware configuration. So that is why C programming language is also called platform independent. There is one more important thing. Why C programming language is called middle level language? Because a programmer can directly interact with the machine. Now that feature has been taken from low level language. As we have already discussed that using a low level language one can directly interact with the machine. So in the C programming language there is a feature called pointer. Now using a pointer one can work with bits, bytes and addresses. So what we can say that a programmer in the C programming language can directly interact with the machine. So your program execution would become much faster. So these are the points that you need to remember why C programming language is called middle level language. So the point we have discussed so far, if we sum it up in a one sentence, what we can say that C programming language combines the feature of high level language and the functionality of low level language. So I hope that I am able to make you understand why C programming is called middle level language. Thank you very much for watching.